everyone, welcome to the Art of Preschool podcast, where we explore the world of early childhood education. We look at the ideas, research, and the topics that affect us in our day-to-day work with children and families. My name is Karthika.
My name is Ringo.
And let's dive straight in. So today we're talking about child safety, and I know there have been lots of changes in this area recently.
What are some new of the requirements?
So we've had lots of new requirements, I know. We'll start with the new mandatory training requirements, right? So it's a requirement now for everybody to log into GECCO, which is the National Mandatory Safety training that we all need to do, and do the first two modules, which are already up, and the rest of the modules will come around July. So everyone needs to do that, whether you work directly with children, or even if you work tangentially, or if you're in management, even if you don't work directly with children, including allied health professionals and other people who come into the service and work.
Does anyone have to do it?
Yes, everyone has to do it. So this includes volunteers. So if you've got students who come in for placement, they need to have completed the mandatory training as well. And of course, any people who come into your service, like the allied health professionals and other people who might come in to work with children.
Wow, actually that's a lot.
Yeah, I think it's going to take us a while to get our heads around how to manage this kind of new group requirements. We've got we have to update everybody's details, make sure we've got records of everyone completing the training and have the certificates up there. So it's going to be quite a lot of work, admin work, I think, for people to manage around this.
So what about the worker register?
Okay, so the new worker register is another requirement that's come in recently. And all providers need to, all the approved providers need to make sure that you've uploaded to the NQA ITS portal, so through ASIQA, worker register requirements. Now, you can start by downloading the Excel spreadsheet and putting all the current staff information on there. But as we go along, you'll have to keep updating and adding to it. I can't imagine how this is going to work in the long run, because it's quite a lot of complex work. Every time you get new staff members, you have to update them, but also anytime you have new allied health professionals and so on come into your service, you need to update that. It's going to be quite complicated for us because we work with an allied health organization and they often send different people to our service. So every time somebody new comes in, we're going to have to update our worker register. So it's going to take a while, I think, for services to work out how to manage all these admin requirements.
Anything else that we need to do?
Yes, make sure that you have downloaded your compliance history and quality statement, so you can get that from your ASIQA portal, and there is a template that you can use from the New South Wales Early Learning Commission that helps you to display that for anyone who comes into your service to see. Also, hopefully you have a statement of a commitment to child safety, so that should be displayed somewhere as well, maybe on your website or other documentation in your service. And we need to have child safe risk assessments now, so make sure that you've got those up to date on top of all the other risk assessments that we need to do in early childhood. I know there is a lot, but this is a new requirement that we do need to have a child safe risk assessment. Now in New South Wales, we have also got some additional requirements around updating our policies. So make sure that you've included the paramountcy principle. That's a new change to the national law. So have that as part of your policies, as well as a new template register for child protection issue concerns. So if you do have any concerns in your service around child protection issues, there is a new template that you need to log everything onto, so that when the department or New South Wales Early Learning Commission authorised officers come into your service, they can see that.
That's a lot. By the way, what's the paramountcy principle?
So that's a change to the national law, and it requires services to put the best interests of the child first. So you can't be putting your reputation or caring for the service or even the educators first. You always need to put the best interests of the child first. So make sure that your policies have been updated to include this new change.
I have a question about mandatory report. So it seems like very complex with a lot of different agencies involved. Can you explain more about this?
Sure. In New South Wales, the Child Protection Agency is the Department of Communities and Justice, or DCJ. So when you have a concern about child abuse or neglect and you want to make a report, call the Child Protection Helpline, you're actually speaking to somebody from the DCJ. What they will do, if it meets their threshold for risk of significant harm, they'll be able to come in and support the child and the family. Now, if your concern is about child abuse in a workplace, you also need to contact the Office of Children's Guardian. So this is part of the reportable conduct scheme. So if a child is harmed in a workplace, you need to contact the Office of Children's Guardian, OCG, and they will be able to cancel the person's working with children check if they're found to harm children. Now, another complicating factor, if your workplace is an early childhood service, you also need to speak to your regulatory authority. And in New South Wales, our regulatory authority is the Early Learning Commission. So you need to contact them and they will come in to figure out how did this happen at the service, right? So did you not have the right policies in place, or did you have the policies but people weren't following them? So what happened that led to a child being harmed at the service? And of course, if the service poses an ongoing risk to children's safety, they have the power to also shut down your service, so they'll be able to close you down. Now, one more thing to think about is if your concern is about child sexual abuse or extreme neglect or serious physical harm, you also need to speak to the New South Wales Police. So it's a legal requirement. It's actually a crime if you don't report it to the police. So either your local police station, or if it's an emergency, call 000.
That sounds very complicated. Where we can find more information about this?
So we do have some training online and face-to-face available. You can check it out at our website, so www.aiec.org.au, or you can also go to the link at the end of our podcast.
See you next episode.